everybody, welcome. It's close to starting time, which means I'm going to get up and talk to you for a couple minutes before we officially begin the Poetry Room. Welcome to beautiful Rio Town, Lansing, everybody. What a beautiful part of the world. We are coexisting at this very moment, together in reality. I'm Dylan, I'm co-owner of the Robin, and it's my job, independent of the Poetry Room, to just get up here and welcome you to the space and run through a quick housekeeping thing. Let's take a moment and make sure that our phones are on silent or vibrate. If you're not sure, we're going to talk for a minute, so you can do something like, yeah, you can do it. Silent or vibrate. They like to go off at the quiet part of the poem, so I appreciate you doing that. One of the beautiful things about the Poetry Room that I've loved hosting here at the Robin Theater with my dear friend Masaki since 2017. Oh my god.
So long.
So long.
You were like 5 years old.
One of my favorite things about it is that we have people who, we have slam poets, we have page poets, we have everybody in between, and we have people who have been reading in front of people their own work for decades that are going to share tonight, and we have people who are going to be reading in front of people for literally the first time tonight. I really pride myself on this being a space where we welcome people of all different backgrounds. So that means you're all welcome here, and if you fuck up, that's okay. You're not gonna, but it's okay. We're still gonna love you. One thing that I just want to talk about before we do this that I feel like no one ever talks about is microphone etiquette. It's like my little thing that I like to talk about. As you can tell, like you can hear me out there, right? Right now? Yeah, more or less. Okay. Great, and that's because I'm speaking right into the front of this microphone. I'm going to turn it to the side here, and when you're reading your poem, you want to speak into the grill of this microphone. Sometimes people get up here and they grab it and they tilt it like that, and then I can't hear you. So just speak into the grill. You can raise or lower the microphone. You can do that. You have the power. We will also be keeping an eye out, and we'll help you with that. Okay. So when you get up here, and if it looks like you're struggling or what, we'll help you out. But you just loosen this thing in the middle, and then you can raise or lower it like that. All right. And that's it. That's really all I wanted to say. They're going to run through some other rules in just a minute for the Poetry Room, but that's my piece. So I want to thank you all for being here. Have a great time. Let's be warm and supportive of everybody. I don't have to tell you that. I already know you're going to be. So with that said, please, let's get really loud for your co-hosts of the Poetry Room tonight, Masaki and Olivia.
Party people in the house, how we doing today? Claire's in Australia, so Olivia asked. And
I stepped up.
Let's read the rules. Okay, here are the rules of the open mic. You are all welcome, but you will be treated as the energy you put out. If you're an asshole, we'll treat you like that.
Rude. There's no rules on language and content. You're an adult. Use your discretion, but being jarring for the sake of jarring isn't dope.
You know, I used to have this other co-host that would be like, oh, you can't have hate speech. Don't. And Dylan would say the same thing. But I have 2 cameras here. I would love to be on Will Star Hip Hop and upload that. So if you want to say something fucked up, please do. I want to put my friends' beats on there, and then, like, you know, it'd be nice.
Makes sense.
Ruin your life.
Check their employer.
Exactly, right? Each person gets to sign up once per event and share 1 poem. If you read a haiku, 3 lines, fantastic. Get the fuck off. Next. Your time on stage should not be longer than 5 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you. When you go about 4, I do one of these. Like, yo, you get the fuck off. When it's 5, these are boundaries. I don't give a fuck if you're crying up here. Fantastic. I would love to kick you off in the middle of you crying. Like, get the fuck off. Because I think it would be hilarious, but that's just me. But yeah, if your poem is longer than 5 minutes, it probably sucks.
Try to make sure that you somewhat edit your poem. You shouldn't be reading your poem out loud for the first time on stage.
You know what I love, Dylan? Dylan added a clock right there. Fuck yeah. Yep. So you motherfuckers will know. You motherfuckers will know. It's like, oh shit, I've been up here for 8 minutes. A host will announce who is next and who is on deck. On deck meaning the person after.
If you're reading from your phone and or a book, please make sure to have it pulled up before you get called onto the stage. If you're not ready, then we're going to move on to the next person.
Please, no disclaimers. I don't need to know when the fuck you wrote it, dude.
I say if you like want to add a disclaimer, you can, but just keep it under like a minute.
Who the fuck cares about your... If you gotta summarize your poem and tell me what it's about, it fucking sucks. It just does. I'm just being honest. That's... In Asian culture, that's love.
Yeah. I mean...
That's true. That's why we succeed.
You're like, fuck you. Love you though.
Yeah.
Please do donate. Ways that you can help support the Poetry Room without money is to just invite people to the event or share on social media. Invite people ideally who do have money and tag the Robin Theater, Poets, and the Poetry Room.
All right, people, let's get this started. On deck is going to be Skeeter next. The first person that's going on is Olivia. Let's give it up for Olivia! Let's go, poet!
I'm already breaking the rule. I have to pull it up.
She's not ready. Boo!
Okay. Headrest. It was the summer of drunk drivers and killer whales. And orange. Everything was soaked in it. Orange in the sky, orange in your hair. I've tried to write this poem before, but I seem to trip on the words. They aren't poetic enough, not romantic enough, not true enough. They don't stick like the sweat to our skin in the back of your dad's SUV. I wasn't there that summer when I was with you. Not really. My body was earthbound, but I was somewhere else. Sick to my stomach before seeing you and crying after kissing, and I couldn't tell you why when you looked at me like that. I don't think I really knew how to explain it. It's just a feeling. You would sit there with that confused look on your face, always that confused look on your face, so far from me in the driver's seat, as you lied about having a sister to avoid what you thought would spark jealousy. You had said you hated it here more times than I could count. You hated the sun, the sky, hated the color of the tar on the road, hated your family. But you've been homeless once in the South, and now being in the Mitten, you finally knew how to ski. I remember you the way someone remembers the words to an old song, by memory but not by heart. Back when sticking around meant finding the good in anyone and anything. When every last ugly was salvageable, even you. I'm outside of a Big B in the middle of the night. I pulled over to write this because unlike you, I don't condone texting and driving. And the words are making their way to me now, like a buzz that hits you all of a sudden. I don't think of you often, but when I do, I mean to tell you. I'm still not sure where I was that summer. I still don't have the answer, but I think I'm figuring out what I would have liked it to be and where I would have liked to be. Up next we have Skeeter, sorry. Up next we have Skeeter, and then on deck we have Masaki, whoever that is.
Hello. See, I'm always told that I'm a great stepdad. I'm great with my stepkids, that I truly am. I'm everything a father figure should be, but I'm not a father and I was supposed to be. Don't get me wrong, I love my stepkids to death. I just wish that word didn't apply to you. I have your name on my arms, but I'll never get to hold you in it. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I wonder what it would have been like to be more than just a father figure. I'm not saying that I would have known everything right off the bat, but I probably would have known better in time. I know I wouldn't have been a perfect father, but I know I would have definitely been better than mine. I've always wondered, would you have my eyes or your mother's? Would you have my sense of humor, be an animal lover like your sister, be a rage baiter like your brother? But I guess God was short-staffed for angels, and heaven needed you more than I did. Funny how a due date turned into a deadline, and I was left overdue with a love I can't give. And I know God has reasons for everything, but sometimes I still can't find a reason for this. Sometimes I sometimes get sad and I mourn for the memories I'll never get to have, that I'll never get the chance to walk you down the aisle and have our first father-daughter dance, to have our first father-daughter plans, to have our first father-daughter laughs, to have our first father-daughter anything, because I have to find out that you passed. No, Dad watched this from across the room. No laughter blooming where there was once a womb. And now I'm left imagining a life that I'll never get to have with you. You became my what if, my almost, my supposed to be. A heart that I never got to, that heartbeat I never got to sync with, but I still somehow keep the time in me. So they tell me I'm a great stepdad, and I wear that title with pride and honor, and honored to have that role. And I hope one day I'll have the title that erases the prefix and be called a name that's already prefixed and have that title on mine, and that's that piece. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. On deck.
That was hilarious, yo.
Let me redo that. Thank you so much. On deck we have Charisma. Next we have Masaki.
New shit.
Look at this. Let's do this.
The closest my aunt and I ever got was cleaning up after my uncle. Cleaning out after. I always fucking do this shit.
Right.
Let's do it. We'll go one more time. The closest my aunt and I ever got was cleaning up after my uncle, returning what he emptied 10 cents at a time. A bag of cans, the machine swallowing aluminum, one hollow mouthful at a time. The receipt printing proof at least our emptiness was worth something. I learned early what could be returned and what couldn't. My uncle is the reason why I don't drink. But when asked, I just tell people, alcohol is expensive, as if money was the only charge, as if nothing else was being taken. My uncle, the man assigned to stand in a place where a father should have stood, dealt in empty promises like empty cans, crushed, clattering, and kicked into corners, proof no one ever wanted to cash in. Shit, I gotta read this shit. Proof never wanted to cash in.
You're so perfect.
I grew up watching a man trade tomorrows for tonight. He drank as the past came in ounces. And some nights, his steps up the stairs sounded like breaking glass, beer turning domestic, porcelain everywhere, wife and dishes learning how to brace. My silence was never absent. It was armor, blankets over my head, holding my breath between footsteps. Pretending to be asleep was a survival skill. I know other nights we were packed into the car. I learned what a red roofing looks like at 3 a.m. Neon spilling through the curtains. The TV left on for company. Infomercials selling knives sharp enough to cut through anything except what we needed saving from. My uncle always promised to change. My aunt always calculated the cost, counting receipts at the kitchen table long after he passed out. I was looking for a father figure. What I got was a figure, an adult who disappeared without ever leaving the room, returning each time more faded than before. He drank to forget. I stayed sober to remember. While he was at the bar, I had to raise it. I haven't spoken to him in years. I know that's fucking good. I wrote that shit. I haven't spoken to him in years. The last time was on the phone. Words warped and wandering, still drunk. Still charging me for a tab that was not mine. My aunt still standing beside him, holding up what kept breaking. That's when I hung up. Because how many shots can you give somebody before you finally cut them off? On deck, we got Jen. That's hilarious. And next, we got Charisma. Let's go off Charisma. Let's go, poet. Lower that. She's just a giant in the poetry world. I just couldn't,
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Hi. My name is Charisma Holly. I am a spoken word artist, and I want to give a special shout out to Masaki, Dylan, Olivia, and all of the people that make this possible.
Yeah. Hooray for us!
The title of my poem is Reminisce. I was just laying awake, thinking about the pencil case I carried in 5th grade and the fact that my number has not changed in so long. I thought about you. In whatever remnants my brain could recreate of our elementary romance residue, I remember. I fell the first time I saw you dancing. I got distracted laughing and stepped right onto a hula hoop ring and you caught me in the corner of your peeking eyes. Soon we were our own song and routine tango of basketballs, jump ropes, darting glances once. I paced back and forth in front of your locker with a note folded between creases of my fingers, number anxiously scribbled across the bottom, heartbeat badgering with anticipated rejection when you actually called me, asking if we could go out. My mom picked up the phone, and I pretended I didn't know who you were, and I'm sure that we both exited that conversation equally embarrassed, but all the more awkwardly smiley at attendance when the teacher called either of our names. It's funny to me that my number has not changed in so long. I wonder if I have even conceptualized the idea of moving on. It's not that I am still in love with you. But I do miss the butterfly floatiness felt whenever in your presence. Present me is no longer interested in hand-holding under gym bleachers, but the creases of my poem-filled fingers still fold sticky notes into pocket-sized love letters. And sometimes, your name comes up in fond serendipity. It's always in these moments I question if I'll ever move past clinging to daisies amidst a thorn bush. Maybe this is my late-night rewrite of the past, as an attempt to make everything dramatically more dreamlike, not just the relationship. Every second between 12 and turning 13 suddenly gleams like a golden age. Every reworked argument so silly in retrospect, and I suspect that this is just my mind viscerally wishing we could go back to when life didn't seem this complicated, heart contracting tighter at the thought of a pencil case I once had, a compliment from my first crush, a particular bracelet my sister made staring into shifty ceilings at 3 a.m. is not enough to curb this incurable ache. Nostalgia is a letter to an address I no longer use, inviting me to a world that I can't get back to, but they say that if you're laying awake thinking about someone, then they are thinking about you too. I don't know if it's true, but to anyone, everyone I have loved, if you ever find the shape of me formed in shadowed ceilings and you want to reminisce or write into existence some new memories, please feel free to call me. My number has not changed.
Can we give another round for Charisma?
Where'd this energy all of a sudden come from?
Masaki says, like, you don't give enough of your personality in poems. People only get to see one side of you. It's like, okay, girl. On deck, Elizabeth, and next is DeGino.
Once upon a salted kiss, a prayer to Freya, first of the vulva, and to Sylvie Loki, keeper of infinite selves. For my old friend. There was an alternate world where we found ourselves sooner, where the stars bent low over that Greenville night, whispering, "Wake up, my loves." Back when we were 16 and reckless and feeling almost grown, flirting under the jaundiced lights of McDonald's dining room, me wanting so badly to hold your hand, salt on our tongues, laughter like a spell breaking open the night. In that other world, closer than a whispered breath, we kissed in the parking lot, and everything changed. In that world, you never doubted your light, you never mistook cruelty for love. My friend never laid his curse upon your child or your joy. In that world, your heart bloomed wild and unbroken. In that world, my body changed not through science, but through sacred song, because you looked at me and said, "You are who you are, Jin, and that is holy." And I believed you. Froya, first of the vulva, you who taught us the art of seeing what might have been, open this dream wide and let us walk into it. Bless the girls we were and might have been, the ones who reached for freedom instead of choosing the known and the safe. Show us the golden thread that still connects us to them, across timelines and traumas. Let us see ourselves young and queer and bright as the sunrise on the snow, learning cider from our own soft rebellion. 2 witches in a Sheridan bedroom, all flannel and Doc Marten boots brandished like shields. Candles dripping, runes carved into desktops inscribed in notebook margins, calling on you before we even knew your name. Sylvie Loki, my shimmering sibling, you who birthed new worlds from chaos, you who wore Froya's falcon cloak to see all worlds and be as she, you who have been mother and father and in between, you who shape-shift to survive and thrive, guide us through the fractal paths of possibilities to that other world, a world where we followed your laughter into our own becoming, where we wore glitter to class and dared to call it armor, where we came out in the daylight and were not punished for it, queer and trans children who grew up safe, and in the world was blessed to hear our heart songs. In that world, we graduate side by side, go straight to grad school, and discover together the plants that would heal our spirits. We're among the first to speak patiently to wounded parts, and finally start a magic school of our own. 2 brilliant, witchy therapists teaching others how to weave healing from their wounds. A queer temple disguised as a therapy office. A cauldron where the broken come to remember their names. Built on consent and community, where trauma is met with magic, and every spell begins with self-love. We light candles before session, burn juniper and cherry pipe tobacco, and write case notes in song and prayer and poem. Our clients leave humming, and our ancestors nod in approval. Froya, you smiled upon us there, your falcon cloak rustling in the wind, your cats purring at our feet as we built a future worthy of your name. You whispered, "This too is cider, 2 women and not women daring to heal the world." Loki, you danced between our shadows, your laughter turning every fear into freedom. You showed us that gender was just another rune to be rewritten, and that love was the truest trick of all. In that world, we are lovers and co-conspirators, the founders of a gentler future. Trump never takes power. Our queer kids grow up unafraid. We grow old, surrounded by gardens and grandchildren and chosen kin, and our magic heals the world, one wish, one spell, one heartbeat at a time. And though I wake in this timeline, where the world is heavier and history crueler, I still dream of that other one. I still feel your hand in mine, still smell French fries and summer air and possibility. I still hear your voices, Froya and Loki, whispering that every alternate world is also a seed and that dreamers like us are its gardeners. Valfreya, fly us together across the world. Sylvie, laugh and keep the doors between timelines open, for there is still a place where all is healed, and I have seen it. In the spark between our palms, in the fall breath between our lips, in the echo of our youth, in the holy, unbroken love that never stopped becoming, and in the glorious friendship that remains to sustain us.
Let's give it up for Jen one more time! On deck, we got some music from Mars McCartney. Next, we got Elizabeth. And also we have Liam over there taking photo, doing camera work right there for the state news. Let's go. You gotta look fly, let's go. Let's go, Elizabeth!
Hello. Hi. So, I am going to read only has one eye. Actually, he has two, but I only look at one. There's a world in that eye, and inside the world is a pool. The pool is dark and round, and its waves are gentle and small. In each ripple is a line of my lover's life. The week at 5, his mother fell ill and left him in the care of strangers. The sadness he felt as his father died. The names called him by other boys when he was young because he looked different and he had an unusual name. In Leiwei's pretty brown eyes, I watch the waves splash the shore, and sometimes I put my hand where the water meets the sand and let the water wash my fingertips. Mostly though, I sit quietly and watch, and when I am done, I press my lips to my lover's face.
Holy
That was awesome. On deck we have Nicholas. Up next we have Mars.
Let's go, Mars!
Give me a couple strums inside.
Say that it's broken now. I can tell it you're breaking down. I'm still racing my feelings, so can't fight music at least not now. Now we're thinking about the people that we loved in the past. All the shitty things they did, we couldn't recognize back then. Seems clearer in hindsight, that's the benefit of age. Very grateful that we made it through our foolish youth.
God damn, that was a bang. Woo! White people don't dance around here. I don't know why y'all don't dance. Y'all just don't move. On deck, we're gonna have Sophia. Next, we got Nicholas. Nicholas! Let's give it up for Nicholas!
This poem's called CPAP. I have sleep apnea. I need someone to understand I have sleep apnea. I just need someone somewhere in the chain of command to be responsible for this. And I know I can't be unsupervised with a cord. And I know there are shift changes every 12 hours. And so it's hard to keep track of this. But people keep giving me trazodone, and it makes me fall asleep too quickly, and I feel like I'm suffocating, and it triggers a panic attack, and the less I sleep, the crazier I feel, and I need to know someone will give me my CPAP. I need to know somewhere someone will take responsibility for giving me my CPAP. I need a sane person to give me my CPAP. Because I've got too much on my plate. With paperwork, and trying not to lose my marriage, or my job, and trying to go and get someone to visit me so I can believe that the outside world is real, and trying to explain to people on the outside why I need a picture of my baby because part of me feels so crazy that I'm convinced he's dead and no one is telling me. And it's hard to find people to visit you when you're acting this crazy. And it's hard to be sane when you can't sleep, and it's hard to sleep through the screams when you don't have your CPAP. I've already spent so many nights without it. Can someone please make sure tonight I fall asleep with my CPAP?
On deck, Zaki. Next up is Sophia.
Hi everyone.
Yeah!
This is my first time performing here. So I came all the way from Texas. No, not just for this. But
Slide to us.
here's my poem. When I was 8, Mommy worked all day taking care of kids that were not hers and went to school at night to give us a better life in a new country. When I was 9, my teacher recommended me to the Gifted and Talented program. She told Mommy I would benefit from more advanced classes, whatever that means. When I was 10, I said soup instead of soap, and from that day on, my daily corridor walks were suffused with pointing fingers and laughs that filled the halls. Mommy thought she taught me the essential, but underestimated how cruel kids can be. When I was 11, my little brother broke his arm because he failed to jump as high as me. His finger brushed the clothesline pole in our backyard, his skinny arm crushed by his own weight. At 12, I tried to mend his broken bones. When I was 13, kids at my new school called me Pancho Villa because of a milk chocolate stain covering my upper lip. When I was 14, I got a 25 on my English exam, but every single one of my classmates only knew how to say hola in Spanish. When I was 15, the only 2 friends I had threw rocks at me through a fence at recess. It was a Wednesday afternoon. The sun was hitting my face. The shadowy silhouettes moved away, but amongst the noise I heard, they didn't want to play with the outsider anymore. When I was 16, I graduated with the best Spanish grades in my class, applauded by no one, expected by everyone. When I was 17, I told Mommy I wanted to become a writer. I told her I wanted for others to find belonging in my words, a place they could come home, a place where their names wouldn't be whitened, where angels stays ángel en tacos are served with guacamole and salsa roja and pico de gallo. When I was 18, I graduated high school and filled my college applications. My entire life depended on envelopes and letters. We are pleased to inform you. When I was 19, I helped Mommy prepare for her citizenship exam, 3 months, 100 questions, and 180 hours for her to become fluent in American. A simple price to pay for her never to be taken away from me again. To this day, our yellow kitchen tiles hold our sweat as evidence. When I was 21, I found Mommy had a master's degree and a PhD from Mexico. If only she remembered how smart she is in Spanish. When I was 22, I worked 2 jobs. I volunteered at 2 research labs. I graduated with honors, kept a 4.96 GPA. I learned Italian. I was selected as a summer finalist for Fulbright. I moved to Michigan, and I started writing again. But when I was 23, the life me and Mommy had worked so hard to build started to become a whisper when Leonardo García Venegas, Ernesto Díaz, Juan Carlos López Gómez, Dayan Figueroa, Andrea Vélez, and Dulce Consuelo Díaz Morales were detained. Their last names stripped away of their letters, erased, denied, torn apart. As if the documents they carried in their wallets were just not Star-Spangled Banner enough. As if from the moment they were born, they were condemned to be labeled as other. I will be 24 in 5 months. And what if after all this time, all it takes is a mispronunciation of a word I've said right 100 times before? What if all it takes for my skin to shine brown and my Spanish to be discerned when talking to my favorite friend? What if all it takes is for me to go on a walk without carrying a sign around my neck that reads, I have proper documentation to become animal and drug dealer and murderer and rapist? News header, Sofia Villalobos, detained. We have decided she is not used the following interchangeably: American enough, white enough, rich enough, conservative enough to be here anymore.
Fuck yes. You know what I really like? I always tell you this, but you motherfuckers don't ever listen. I go, how is it that you are the only person who could write that poem? And a lot of immigration stuff is happening. And you guys all just fucking talk about like whatever you want to talk about. It has no conversation with you, even though I was once an illegal immigrant and you all just fucking just chime the fuck in. You don't write from your perspective. That was written from her fucking perspective. So like when people ask me, they're like, I saw a bunch of events around town and they're doing like shit for like immigrants and invite no immigrants at all. Look who just fucking signed up, asshole! That's that easy. Fuck yeah. You should be laughing at these white people that are trying to do some fucking righteous shit and don't invite their own people that's fucking involved with this. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, I'm ranting. You can clap for that. I'm definitely on King C. Next to that, Zaki. Let's go, Zaki!
I don't know if I could top that, but
You ain't done, we ain't comparing, yo!
exactly. Well, this is political as well.
Let's go!
And if you disagree, you're wrong, and I'm right. Okay. The Bolivarian Revolution. Hugo Chavez, son of Simon Bolivar, I bring tragic news, my friend, from beyond the grave. The Yankee Empire has kidnapped your vice president. They came in the dead of night, killing brave men, bombing Caracas as they once bombed Baghdad. They handed the Nobel Prize to a fascist. She seeks to shackle your nation as a slave of America, just as you warned us long ago in countless interviews and speeches, foretelling the future with fiery charisma and unbreakable passion. Che Guevara, my hero, compañero eterno, do you know you became immortal? Do you know your image hangs in every dorm room across the world? Look at whom they elected in your beloved Argentina, a betrayal dressed as freedom, a Zionazi. Salvador Allende, once again, they have disfigured Chile. Land of Pablo Neruda and his 100 love sonnets, verses once born in the majestic Andes, there is a new Pinochet in a mask, his bloodless shadow throughout Santiago. Fidel, my comrade, compañero supremo, look at what they wish to do to your beautiful tropical island. They circle it like hungry vultures. They dream of erasing the growth. They threaten your nation with bombs and blood. The Gusano Secretary of State has some unfinished business to attend to. He harbors a bitter vendetta against your work for the poor and forgotten. He longs for the brothels and casinos that once polluted the heart of Havana. They ignore the Cuba that taught the poor to read and the sick to hope. But we will not allow evil to rule. Viva la Revolución Bolivariana! Viva la Revolución Cubana! Viva el socialismo! They look at your poor nations and see only potential to exploit. Where healthcare and education are free, they see a threat. Where even human life is sold for profit, we know exactly where that mindset is born. This empire calls itself freedom and liberty, but is a distraction to its crimes abroad. It massacres its own citizens in cold blood. It calls human beings illegal aliens. It suffocates unarmed black men for the crime of being too dark. It gasses protesters, bloodies them in the streets, learning from their Israeli friends to call victims terrorists and manufacture lies. They mock justice and truth. Law is meaningless to minds kept illiterate and obedient. So hear us, heroes beyond the grave. A lion does not care if a monkey in a tree is laughing at him. Your words did not die when your heart stopped beating. We carry them like torches through history's dark bellows. We will fight to defend the truth. Honor, compassion, empathy, kindness, and love. We know that eagles don't hunt for flies, and every empire has its end. We carry these lessons forever and always. Hasta siempre, mis compatriotas. Hasta siempre, la revolución. Hasta siempre, la victoria.
Stop laughing at me, Rob. Get a load of this guy over here. Anyways, up next, RJ.
Yes, our feature, RJ Walker.
Okay, listen, stop. Okay.
We're at the Robin Theater.
I know. He's gonna go missing tomorrow, and everyone's gonna be like, "Where did he go?" It's like, girl, you had it coming. We're gonna have Casey. And
Are you
then,
sure?
yeah. We're gonna have Casey, and then up next, RJ Walker. Right?
On deck is RJ Walker. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Casey. Let's go, Casey.
Quick plug, the Kalamazoo Poetry Festival happens next weekend, April 9th through 11th. Please consider this a personal invite from the director. So, yeah, thank you.
7 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks. I put you in a bag, and I strung you around my neck, and I walked through the dark with the moon above my head. 7 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks.
Reasons to fall in love with a man. He builds a bonfire confidently. He tells others he is proud of me. He doesn't shower too often. Yeah. Day one, if there is such a thing. I left the house. I remembered all of the things: shoes, wallet, coat, bag, keys, penis, loss. The 2-year-long relationship laid on the counter by the door, but that's where it will stay. I watched a TED Talk about maps and realized getting lost is so important. Almost more important than being a good woman, being a good partner, more important even than licking wounds. I didn't care about how much rain hurts on certain parts of the body, peeling the skin. It was an image so familiar, dragging someone on the internet. How did I tell him I wanted to be friends with him, but also to be as far away from him as possible? If we both died tonight, it could happen. Maybe I could do as Mama taught me, wait outside in the dark until the night grew completely quiet, gather a handful of fallen oak leaves, rub them to a powder in my hands, whisper in jewel tones to the ground that I want to be alone, happy, and blow. I'm genuinely fond of my partner. List one characteristic you find endearing or lovable. He is hardworking and money conscious. My partner has qualities that make me proud. Write down characteristics that make you proud of your partner. He is willing to learn about compassion. Day 2, the smell is still here. Woke up with it on my tongue, hand on his ass. Those touches aren't allowed now. Somehow they won't help heal a body that lacked affection for so long. 6 women sat at the table and their faces turned when I walked in. We all placed our fingertips in cool water, listened to how he blew freezing air into my eyes and lungs, and then said he was leaving. We drew circles in the water, and I told them this was the 4th time we'd splintered. He broke up with me through a text while I was at work, even though he promised in therapy to say it to my face. We removed our fingers from the water, leaned in, close, watched the ripples, and I asked them if being happy was truly the most important thing. 6 pairs of eyes glowed blankly at me. The room grew dark, and I could still smell his upper thighs on my face. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Casey one more time! I'm Dex. We got Shadow. Next. We got the feature. Coming all the way from Utah. Let's give it up for RJ Walker! Yo, this is gonna be so fucking good, yo!
How we doing, Lansing, Michigan? So glad to be here. My name is RJ Walker. This is the Despite Everything tour. I name my tours and I theme my tours, and this one is themed around not giving up in a terrible, bad world. Let's see. I put my set list in the back. What am I starting with? Past me? Tell me. Okay. Relapse. An elegy for Zach Baker in 12 steps. Step 1. Zach gets arrested and is charged with possessing drug paraphernalia after gathering up needles in Pioneer Park and placing them in a Sharps container for disposal. The judge sentences him to community service. The justice system is aware of its own stupidity but continues to deny it. Step 2. Dante, I have seen your inferno. The first time I gave an overdosing man naloxone, he screamed from every cell in his body. His fist connected with my face, and I didn't see stars. I saw a lake of fire, and now I'm an atheist that believes in hell. Step 3, Utah has a stigmata against addicts. Step 4, Zach was in and out of rehab. We had both seen the bloody inside of the opioid epidemic. He advocated for addicts in a state that would rather see them dead. Step 5, Zach fights to pass a Good Samaritan bill that would prevent police from charging people who are overdosing with drug-related crimes. He must build new homes in Utah's heart. Step 6, the bill passes. Glory, glory. Step 7, Zach fights for a new bill, one that would give the public access to naloxone. Step 8, a Purdue spokesperson says, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. And my friend Chase overdoses on an overprescription, and I am over playing the role of Virgil. Step 9, the bill passes. Glory, glory. In the land of the God makers, anyone can be a savior. Step 10, I placed all my coins on the eyes of my friends, and I am begging strangers for pocket change. Step 11, Zach is working on a cell phone app that addicts can use to call for help. Step 12, no. Step 12, no. Step 12, when did it get so quiet? I just saw him 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were at open mic and we had coffee and we talked about step 1. Zach and I were both kept alive by the tiny miracles and curses that afflicted us. So why are minds so much more tenacious? Step 2, do you hear that? It's Jesus Christ, American hero, sobbing in the parking lot. Step 2, in the land of the God makers, anyone can be a savior. Step 2, for God so loved the world. Step 2, he gave his only begotten son. Step 2, because he was too much of a coward to save us himself. Step 6, Dante, I have seen your inferno. When I jumped off that cliff in Emigration Canyon, the snow caught my fall and planted me like a tree, and I was kept alive only by the tiny miracles and curses that afflicted me. Step 11, where did I go wrong? I lost my friend. Step 4, I sent Zach a message asking if he was really dead. He still hasn't opened it. Step 8. The first time I gave an overdosing man naloxone, he wanted to kill me for keeping him alive, and I hope he was able to forgive me, for I knew exactly what I had done. Step 12. In the land of the God makers, anyone can be a savior, but don't you know the most famous story about a savior? He gets forsaken at the end. Step 1. For the first time in over a decade, Utah has moved below the national average of overdose deaths. And despite everything that has happened and everyone we have lost, I can feel something healing. Me, Brick. Brick is good at being Brick. Brick graduated magna cum laude from Brick University, where Brick learned how to be Brick. Sit still. Not move. Not move even when pushed. Brick major in shelter. Minor in heaviness. Brick always wanted to be part of ice cream store. Brick loved pistachio ice cream, even if Brick lactose intolerant and mildly allergic to nuts. Brick liked to watch children have carnival faces and smile eyes. Then, man with bad hair and graveyard for mouth come, say, need Brick for project, and Brick think, hotel! Brick could be hotel, help travel people with rest, help escape from hard thing. Brick could be big tower with sign that say, welcome. Brick would like that very much. But Brick not hotel. Brick not ice cream store. Brick here in big wall. Brick see children come, no carnival faces, no smile eyes, sometimes paint Brick face, ask Brick for help. Block who live above Brick say, no look Brick. Brick not made to look, Brick made to sit still, not move, even when pushed. This is why called block, made to stop things. But Brick had professor from Palestine. Brick had grandfather from Berlin. Brick know apartheid when Brick see it. Brick not made to stop things. Brick made to start things. Brick heavy enough to crack riot shield. Heavy enough to shatter patrol car window. Toss Brick into water. See how water rises with the weight of Brick. Brick want children come with shotgun arm. Trebuchet hand. Use Brick to shatter graveyard man headstone teeth. Tie Brick to graveyard man tiny feet. And sink into river. Brick see you. In wall. Listening to Brick. Pretend not to hear. Not to see. Not move. Even when pushed. Brick say, be weapon. Brick say, be shelter. Brick say, be pushed. Brick say, be part of push. So, one of the things I do for work is I write poems for people on my typewriter. That's my job. And if you get an English degree, you can too. If you don't get an English degree to do that, you can just do that. I'm not gatekeeping. Go get a typewriter. Step on the street corner. The thing people overwhelmingly ask for while I'm out on the corner is hope. They're paying a guy on the corner like $3 to tell him it's all gonna be okay. And that's a pretty hopeless position to be in, honestly. But I do my best. And I tell them that the world will be the one that they fight for or the one that they ignore. In last June, I was set up, the city hired me to set up and do poems, and the No Kings protest was going on. We just had another one of those. And at the Salt Lake City No Kings protest, about a block from where I was set up, there was a shooting. And 2 of my friends got shot, and 1 of them died. And my friend that got shot was a Venezuelan man who was, he was open carrying, and the security guard that 5051 hired freaked out and shot at him into the crowd. Just because he saw a brown guy with his rifle. And my friend did not, to his credit, he did not shoot. He just ran and he got to cover, and they arrested him. And they took him to jail. And the person who actually fired the bullets didn't face any consequences until a couple weeks ago. And my friend that died was a really beautiful man named Afa Alu. He was a fashion designer. Part of the reason I'm on tour is because I wanted to share this story, this poem that I wrote for him. You are not the only one who feels the way you feel. So busy, so brilliant, so loved, but unfulfilled. Like there's something left to do, somewhere left to grow, but not enough time to get there. Even the tallest trees still grasp for the stars. Even Pando trembles. Pando is a whole forest, but one tree. A single aspen grove making up the largest organism on the planet by weight. But it's just one tree. It's not a midlife crisis. It's a crisis of life, the great deciduousness of it, falling around us like leaves or confetti, and we can only catch so many handfuls before we never became violinists. But someone, somewhere, is drawing a bow across strings. We never became saxophonists, but someone is turning reed and brass into music. Someone is falling in love in a black box theater. Someone is boxing butterflies to write their first poem. Someone is shooting a cell phone film with and for their 5 best friends. Someone has used a needle and thread to wear their heart on the outside, and like me, you may have been told that you are too much. Chaotic creative, don't you know? You'll never make a living doing that. But they don't know what it means to work for a living. They think it means making a paycheck, trading their moments for money, terrified of what might happen if they do not have enough. But to make a living is to make the things that make life worth living. It is to work for the living. I cannot catch all the falling leaves of life. I cannot become everything, but we can. You catch the cloth, and I'll catch the quill, and they'll catch a tune, and she'll catch a laugh. A whole forest, but one tree, Pando. One of us means all of us. So when cowards and kings threaten clear cuts, because they fear the yawning void in their chest, their inability to be satisfied, like engines afraid of their own gas gauge, they will find this forest feral. They will find themselves in the deep dark woods. Roses are also thorn bushes, because all beautiful things know that they must guard their glory. Someone once said that fear is the mind killer, and I have found this to be true on a scale that would frighten a calculator. And if that is true, then courage is a psychic life. And what is more courageous than creative expression? To show your heart to an enemy and dare them to take it from you. Every coward I have known is flinched at the sight of it. Like vampires to crosses, they lash out, blinded and screaming. And if we are to be the home of the brave, we cannot let cowards take even a single branch. We show them our hearts. And even if we suffer the slings and arrows and bullets, they cannot kill us any more than they can kill the sun. There is no number of cowards with guns that stand a chance against all of us, because all of us are the things we could not become. So here is my pledge, my oath. I will find every sapling and I will show them the stars. I will pass your fallen leaves on to someone who knows what it means to work for the living, and I will stand with my whole chest open, just as you did, and dare them to take this heart from me. And mind-killed cowards may end my life, but my heart and yours and all of theirs are goddamn bulletproof. All right, I have one last little bit. This is my book, Indigo League. It's poems about Pokemon trainers from Generation 1 Pokemon. I'm going to leave some of these copies here at the bookstore so that if you buy one and your friend is like, sorry I took so long shitting, the book you left by the toilet was so good, you can tell him to come here to get it. Anyway, this one's for the nerds in the house. If you shout out the name of a Pokemon trainer from Generation 1, I will read their poem, like Bugcatcher, Birdkeeper, etc.
Mewtwo.
That's a Pokemon. Sabrina? That's a Pokemon trainer. We'll do that one. It's a good one to end on, I think. All right, for Sabrina. So I bent some spoons and everyone said I was a witch. So naturally, I bent their necks because I am a witch. They spit their Bible at me, and I make their Bible spit back at them. They pry open the door to my house, and I make my door pry open them. I hear they are burning little girls for being too pretty or too ugly or too everything, to be anything but magic, but I can see the future. I can see the world they make by destroying all the magic they can or cannot find. It is a world of tax returns and report cards and stock market crashes. Oh, how their children will beg for magic. Oh, how they will grow up and try to build magic from lightning, and oh how they will fail and burn the world down as they try to escape, and they will deserve every ounce of misery they have burned themselves into. Thank you, everybody. I'm in the back with books. If you want to get a book, if you're like, I really want a book but you can't afford one, we'll work it out. We'll sliding scale it, or I'll put my Venmo in it and you can get me back when you get paid or whatever. Like it's cool.
Books on layaway.
Yeah, books on layaway. I will just have to believe you that you will pay me someday. This is why I'm broke. Anyway, if you want a custom poem on my typewriter, I can do that for you too. They're $1 to $25, and they get fancier the more you pay, with the dollar being the minimum. Anyway, shout out to the Robin Theater for hosting. Shout out to your hosts. I'm going to turn it back over to them.
On deck we have Mary Fox, and up next we have Shadow.
Hi y'all. Can you hear me in this? What do I gotta do? Yeah. Yeah, we like the shirt? Fuck yeah! And in the back, we have it? You didn't catch it the first time? Okay. This is my first time reading here. My name is Shadow. I stopped writing about you, and I guess that's a good thing. But when I stopped writing about you, I kind of stopped writing at all. You damn near sucked every drop of poetry out of me. I got you out, poured it onto the pages, and that sounds beautiful, but it felt like a fucking exorcism. So many years, and now finally it's been quiet, laid to rest at last. And now I don't want to admit I can hardly revisit a lot of what I've written. Can't bear reliving the past 2 years of skin-burning agony that I weaved into poem after poem. In so many ways, I'm so much stronger, better, but in so many ways I am mangled, weak, I am different. And all I feel now is mournful for the young girl I was, who didn't know any better. And I grieve the person I could have been without such alteration of my perception of love and trust. I resent you.
How was that? For the first time, how'd you like that? Let's go for Shadow one more time. On deck, on deck, on deck. We got Steve next. We got Mary Fox. Let's give it up for Mary. Let's go, poet. I got it. See, I got it, Maddie. You ain't gonna yell at me anymore.
On Saturday, 4 p.m. here, I will be celebrating my new book.
Was it 3?
It's free, and there are about 20 tickets left. If you want to come, just get a ticket at the Robin and you have a seat. I have arranged to have Chad Sanders,
Hey, Chad.
Becky Jensen,
Hey, Becky.
and Masaki to read with me. But he doesn't get to be the headliner this time. I And we're going to put on a little show for about 50 minutes. So if you are not busy Saturday at 4 p.m., please come. And this is not in the book.
New shit.
Old shit.
Oh, shit.
And this is
Exclusive.
vintage. This is the map to where I live. Somewhere past the memory of crushed dandelions, down a freshly cemented road where we danced one night. On a rug, where I snuggled against my pillow near our one furnace vent, toasty and warm, as I read my books before Mama sent me to bed. This is a map to where I live, off a busy street of an old Detroit suburb, lined with shops, clothing and TVs and dime stores, hardware, groceries, doctor's offices, and gyms 2 blocks away from where I brought home jujubes and lugged home gallons of milk. This is a map to where I live, careless and flying on my bike, a mile from my junior high teacher who seduced and abused me. 4 blocks from my high school, where I learned to fuck and pleasure myself. This is a map to where I live, on a college campus, protesting a war I'd never fight. Awakened to how much my womanhood discounted me, uncredited because I lacked a cock. Where I turned to fight my own battles and left men to fight theirs, longing for love, but clawing for validation without a cosigner. This is the map to where I live, somewhere past a small town school, where I coached and taught and hoped to change the limits of girls' dreams, where I learned that the touch of other skin would not warm the heart of me until I had my own fire. This is the map. Far from Van Dyke Highway, past churches, past agendas, past needs, past wants, gifted in my moments, where I am whole at last, where I now live, in my own skin.
On deck we have Cheyenne. Up next we have Steve.
Yeah.
What's up? Second shout out to the Kalamazoo Poetry Festival. I'm here from Kalamazoo, drove an hour and a half. I love this place. The energy's amazing. I love the poetry I've heard. Thank you, Masaki. Thank you, the theater. I got a new book out called Fellowship. This is titled The Betsy at Lake Michigan. When all else fails, people settle their prayers gently into this river. They come at all hours, trampling their morning shadow to the riverbank or scything autumn panic grass with nervous wheeling headlights. Man weeping is a common sight, woman murmuring alone. They leave behind an emphatic stillness foreign to rivers. Emptied, they leave idle glyphs towed in the sandbank mid-river or drifting as clouds of sienna dust over the parking lot to express what their words cannot. Most of what they say goes unheard. Most of what they hear is never spoken aloud. The supplicants return home to cities they dislike. Everyone wishes, momentarily, he lived here, near water, where it's easy to imagine giving away prayers and forgetting. Maybe prayers wouldn't be needed. There is no stoplight after all. Walking the beach, we find their prayers washed up or lolling near shore, coming and going. Others are smashed and ground down in winter storms. Their pieces we find high in dune grass tangled with balloon ribbons and fish spines. It is considered taboo to disturb them, to take their power. And so we are cautious, rummaging the flayed stomachs of April trout, trying to discover what has sustained them in secret all winter. Thank you.
On deck, we're gonna have music from Mercedes. Next, we got Cheyenne. We got Cheyenne in the house. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Do we have any people who work in healthcare in the house? At the hospital? So my poem that I wrote is more so about like respecting that all of us become the patient one day. So if life doesn't kill me, memories will. Not because they hurt, but because I already know where they lead. I work in a hospital where time gathers in the corners of rooms, where the oldest people in our town lie beneath thin blankets, and the past is the only place their bodies still move freely. I check their vitals, adjust pillows, bring water with a straw. Sometimes they apologize for needing help with things they once did without thinking. Walking, standing, holding a spoon steady. Their bodies have become small countries with failing infrastructure, roads washed out, bridges collapsing between the brain and the hands. But their memories are still young. You can hear it when they talk. A man staring at the ceiling tells me about a girl he loved in 1963 like she just left the room. A woman smiles while describing a lake where her children learned to swim, the sunlight still alive in her voice. And I stand there engrossed in that moment with them long enough to realize something quietly terrifying. One day I will be them. One day my body will return all the strength it borrowed. My hands will shake when someone younger than me places a pill in my palm. A nurse, maybe someone who hasn't even been born yet, will check my pulse and ask if I'm comfortable. And I will not, but inside I will still be wandering, back through rooms that no longer exist, back through summers that only live in the soft museum of memory. I will look for the warmth of people who once filled my life, like sunlight through open windows, friends, lovers, laughter in kitchens after midnight. All of it somewhere behind me. If life doesn't kill me, memories will, because they will be so vivid and the present so quiet. But maybe there's a mercy in that, because if I reach that age, if I become the patient instead of the nurse, it will mean that I survived long enough to have a lifetime worth remembering.
era. Up next is my personal best friend, Mercedes Kelly.
Chair backstage. You want to use this one?
Is there like a lower chair?
Lower chair?
Yeah, just my leg shakes when I get on stools.
We plug in, right?
Yes.
Where you going? Yeah, right there.
And then after her song, swap.
Yeah, I'll swap it.
Give me a second to get back to her, and then strum it.
So this is a brand new song. I'm a little nervous and I haven't played it too much, but I'm excited. Masaki was like, "Do you want to play again next month?" I'm like, "I don't actually have any other original songs." And then I was like, "Oh, actually," like a week later, I was like, "Is there still space?" Because I wanted to do this. I'm also playing on Thursday here at the Tune In. Yes, thank you. Which is exciting. So thanks for having me, Robin Theater. Okay, this song is untitled at the moment. If you have an idea for a title, let me know. What's the point in living without the risk of dying? Wouldn't that make life so worthless? And what's the point in working your life away for living? In the few moments when you're free, rules are only rules when we all choose to follow the powers in the people. The earth is our giving tree, but I refuse to believe that it's happy when there's plastic in the sea. It's not fair. There is no need for war, and yet there's oil in the air. Maybe we'll go to Mars, but when I look up, I don't see any stars. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
time. All right, motherfuckers, we got 5 poets left. But here's the thing, it's 8:48, so we need to get the fuck out of here soon. So you motherfuckers better hurry the fuck up, because I know y'all want to talk up here all the time and not do your poem, and we're not doing that, all right? On deck we got Theo, and next we got Lyra. Let's go, Lyra. Yeah, look at that. I like that speed right there. I like that speed. There was a fox-like speed there. Woo!
Hi, my name is Lyra. It's my first time here
Lyra,
tonight. I'm gonna go right ahead and do it. Okay. Who are you to think I want your brutish hands near my temple, ripping tapestry from the walls, plundering my pleasure, so you can gild me in gold and call me cosmetic in your privileged eyes? Who are you to decide if my life is real or fantasy, based on an entirely constructed notion of normalcy? I know myself better than your godly books and binary mind ever will. My life is not yours to mold in your image. Who are you to question the rights I am worth because my life does not match what was assigned at birth? The very nature of humanity is change. To assume anything stays uniform is inhumane. Your hate is a broken record. Men in uniform marching single file, ripping families from homes, sending half to camps, destroying livelihood for sport, exalting a manufactured perfection while erasing diversity of those seen as other, and erasing diversity of life itself. Your claws dig in, hoping to control us and make us complacent while you steal our futures. But my gender is not your choice, my body is not your place. And I know you are stubborn, but we're more stubborn still. We have always existed, and we will continue to exist. Persisting from antiquity to the collapse of empires, our joy is our resistance, and love is our existence. While I hold my beloved, our bodies moving on their own, sweet pleasure from their lips revolts against your definition of desire. I know you are jealous, and jealousy doesn't look cute on you. Thank you. Happy Thursday, Visibility.
I love all the queer poetry tonight.
Yeah! Hey, Olivia, can I move this back a little bit?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
On deck we have Najima, and then up next we have Theo.
America. America looks so beautiful from a car window. In the distance, windmills wave amber in the purple mountain morning light. Out here, history is buried in a silent roadside grave, and a tattered barn with the door half torn off was never new. America looks so beautiful from a car window. The air is so simple. The wind plays the trees like a guitar, and the birds ride with me. Out here, nothing lingers and everything stays the same. America looks so beautiful from a car window. The flat roads rumble so perfect, and the sun paints the land gold. I'm at the altar of America, vast, empty, and free. I want to reach out and hold it in my arms, so I roll my window down. But with the window down, America becomes a whole new beast. In the distance, I see a 4-row planter flattening green hills into yellow waste. Water runs dry and repellent rains from the sky. Millions of souls all cramped into the 4-cylinder engine of high fructose nutrition. And this great big pit swallows the land whole and ignites the sky. Gasoline drips from my nose and the earth begins to shake. With the window down, America reeks. I breathe in deep and it smells like cow shit and some weird kind of Confederate. And sulfur coats my nose as ash fills my lungs. Driving past levees that broke years ago as rain floods in through the window and the rust is starting to show. A sign reads, "This stolen land is yours," next to the colonizer whipping in the wind. Driving past church after church, but God is nowhere to be found in some long abandoned ghost town that never even got to dream. My mind is melting with the land. My vision starts going blurry, and then bam, some big semi slams right into me and I'm flying with bald eagles, and for just a moment, America looks so beautiful again. Until I land among the rest. No car window for protection. My knees busted, neck bent, and metal jutting from my spine. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. The great American highway ends with me, dead in a ditch. America's afterlife hangs in the mist. Walking along a path now all damp. Up ahead there is an old man walking, these big pools trailing behind him, tears carving canyons in his cracked face, weeping, sobbing, the path tears apart into tatters, and I scramble to stay above the surface. The old man stumbles, and I catch him and hold him in my arms, and he's just crying and crying, these big tears flooding the trail of chasms until he becomes a puddle, and I'm all alone. In a land torn apart at its seams. A land that bleeds. A land that once looked so beautiful from that now broken car window. Thank you.
Let's give up for Theo! On deck, we got Mason, and next we got Najima. Let's give up for Najima!
Hello, everyone. All right, my name is Najima, and this is Love So Cinematic. I want that Love Jones, because if Beale Street could talk, the beginning would be a photograph of our brown sugar. I want that cinematic, that Spike Lee double dolly shot, those poetic moments that are just us. I want to go on the south side with you for some soul food and be nourished by your presence, because I am waiting to exhale, inhale, breathe with you. About last night. Two can play that game, but I want us to go beyond checkers. This is chess, because I'm trying to jump the broom into some forevers with you. I want that slow build, but deep-rooted type shit. That love beyond transactional, moon rivers of purposeless, lengthy walks to lingering, unspoken longing. That childlike bit of honey, tough start, sticky, but sweet. Now or later we can find that good and plenty of loving in life. I will be your butterscotch queen, and you can be my grandmaster and flash into my life. I be wanting to set it off at the 90s house party groove. Let's be kids and play. I'ma hit that Tootsie Roll while you give me butterflies inside. Take a long walk around the park. Have some conversations under the stars. Let's go to Harlem and shake things up. Be a renaissance. New movements. Be creators. Be my best friend. Pop, lock, and drop some knowledge on me, because you just run across my mind and I know I'm feeling you. Let's peruse through some vinyl while sipping on red pop on Woodward. Let me rock your chain or Letterman all night long. Let's go cruising while the Master Blaster's jamming, because we only looking for one love. Love is a lyric. Cinematic composition of rhythm take hold, melodic odes to classics. Reels on replay of what we could be, should be. Time stands still and there's a twinkle in your eye. I've been miseducated a time or two, ended up in situations that drain my soul, false harmonics that hold me, that retro rhythms are illusions, but reality is that retro real exists, but is a heart song so rare and so hard to hear. I want it. Paint a portraits of the ribbons and discover mahogany.
On deck we got Catherine. Up next we have Mason.
Let's go, Mason.
Howdy y'all, thanks for the space. This is called New Flies. I'm starting to realize I've seen them before. I'm starting to see how they got in. I'm starting to try, like I've never tried, to really not choke the leaves before they catch. I'm starting to grab them with my strained limbs and crush them one by one. I'm starting to hug you harder than last time. I'm starting to admit my hands are still shaking. I'm starting to face them in what their hum already froze into my blood. I'm starting to clutch my ears as the sound bludgeons the things my brain wonders about. I'm starting to sob as my room is now a static I know each groove to. I'm starting to know they will come back again. I'm starting to grip any laugh my muscles can conjure as the room trembles and disassembles the closest trophies I remember to hold on to. I'm starting to realize I've seen them before.
Last two. We got Roxanne shutting it down. Next we got Catherine. Let's give it up, Catherine. Yeah. Look at that speed right there. Let's clap it up with that. Woo. Yeah, I got you. That's the least I can do.
I'm even at heels. Okay. Hi. This is my first time ever reading a poem in front of an audience. Alright. Alone I stand, a heart askew. In crowded rooms I feel the blue. A quiet ache that won't subside. A loneliness that I can't hide. I watch the world through panes of glass, a fleeting chill as they pass. Their laughter rings, but I can't join. A distant echo, fate incoing. The mirror speaks a cruel disguise, reflections of my own demise. A fractured soul, unsure and whole, afraid to show my inner toll. The whispers rise, a constant hum of what I am and what's to come. But in the dark, I long to see a version of myself that's free. Yet here I stay, within this space, insecure and out of place. Quiet storm that roars inside, a longing heart that cannot hide. I walk a line I cannot trace, between too much and out of place. I speak my thoughts, they overflow, then I wish I hadn't let them go. I reach for something I can't name, a steady ground, a softer frame. But every step feels misaligned, like I'm too loud for any mind. I hear it in the quiet pause, in subtle shifts, the hidden flaws. A sense that I've gone on too long, said too much, or said it wrong. So I retreat and surge again, a cycle I can't understand. I want to stay, I want to flee, I want someone to stay with me. And even when I'm not alone, it feels like I'm not fully known, like parts of me don't come quite through, or land the way they're meant to. But somewhere underneath the noise, beyond the doubt that always joins, there's still a voice that quietly pleads to be held within my needs, not fixed or less, nor arranged, not dulled, corrected, or estranged. Just seen as I am, fully true, even if that's something new.
Roxanne, no, she's going to shut us down, we have Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne, let's go.
This is my first time, not just here, but ever doing anything like this. I know we're not supposed to do disclaimers.
You do you.
Okay, I just need to let you know that I have some neurological problems. You probably see that. But one of the things, the neurological problem affects my tongue and my mouth and my speech. So please bear with me as I'm talking. This thing.
We got you.
Take your time. This is a song. I just don't have music written for it, and that's all right because I can't sing anyway. So I'm going to read the song to you. Oh, to know, like little children, there's someone older than you. Someone to hold and caress you, and someone to scold you too. Or someone to call you baby, to laugh at you when you're wise. Someone to care when you're sorry, to kiss the tears from your eyes. I can think of nothing sadder than to feel when days are old, days are few, that there's no one left to lean on. There's no one older than you. The younger ones may be tender to the feeble and the slow, but they can't talk old times over. Yours is not the past they know. A romance to them, a wonder you were once a child at play. Only those gone on before you share memories of what you say. I can think of nothing sadder than to feel when days are few. No one remembers your childhood. There's no one older than you.
That's a bar.
When life's begun to be weary and each day brings nothing new, you yearn for the comfort that comes from someone older than you. Your journey's end grows nearer. It's something you don't fear anymore. The path cannot be so lonely because loved ones have traveled it before. I can think of nothing sadder than to fill when days are few. The pain of missing your loved ones, those that were older than you.
How'd that feel? You like it? Let's get over Roxanne! That was dope as fuck. I like that, Roxanne. Motherfuckers always give me excuses of why they can't do shit. Fuck that. You see that? Yeah. Will y'all cheer? What? Yeah. If you want Roxanne to come back and sign up again, can I hear y'all cheer? That ain't just about Roxanne, but that's all about you. But I was so inspired by that. That was super dope. What do you have to plug while we get the fuck out of here?
Honestly, thank you guys so much for coming, and I know I'm no Claire, but you guys greeted me.
We don't compare.
Appreciate.
Go ahead.
Also, definitely come to tune in and see Mercedes because she's about to blow up, and then her tickets are gonna be like $800, so you need to come out.
Will you come see Mary Fox? Saturday? I get to open up with Mary Fox this Saturday. I'm so excited. Buy merch from RJ. RJ came all the way from Utah. Let's thank RJ for being here. Jasper for taking those photos. Dylan, the Robin Theater. Olivia for co-hosting. A couple of other plugs. Next week we'll have the Poet Laureate thing here, right? On the 7th. That's future you, yeah. That's it. I will. If you want to talk, we can talk about it. On the 9th, it's the MSU Museum. One of these two may take me down. There's Jeremiah. There's Charisma. Woo! I'm going back to back. I'm trying to go for the triple.
I'd be scared if I were you.
I know I am. Look at those two. Look at how he's looking at me.
No, I know.
He's like, fuck that, yo. Fuck that. And then what else do we have to plug? Oh, on the 11th, RJ Walker. I knew you would love RJ Walker so much that I invited him back to do an event with Capital Area District Library where we're doing an hour set, and then afterwards we will do a workshop so he can teach you motherfuckers how to write better. Yeah! And you know how much that is? It's free $99. And how does this happen? I have no idea. We're running into the red, so if you can donate, let's pull off a miracle, people. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You go ahead. I got shut down.
Okay. Sorry, one more thing. I'm in a band called The Maples. If you guys want to check us out on Instagram, that's WeAre as in the letter R, The Maples. And we have a ton of shows coming up, so check us out.
Next month we're gonna do a thing where we judge the poems. No. You can decide not to be judged, but we're gonna have this. We're gonna put a sticker on you where we're not gonna keep score. But I think you motherfuckers need to have some kind of number. Don't take it personal because there's this thing called score creep. But I just feel like there should be some numbers onto it. If you decide not to participate, okay, cool. But
are you sure it's not gonna be rigged where you're like number one?
I'm always number one.